Hello, I'm Rachel Patton, Executive Director of Preserve Arkansas, the statewide nonprofit advocate for the preservation of Arkansas's historic places. Welcome to our virtual Mid Mod Arkansas tour. In this installment, we're excited to show you two houses in El Dorado, designed in 1960 by celebrated Arkansas architect Fay Jones, the Henley House and the Riley House.
This program was made available to you free of charge because of generous support from our sponsors. In particular, we'd like to thank our Platinum presenting sponsor, Murphy USA, for their support. You'll see a special message from Murphy USA during intermission. We're also thankful for the support of our Gold sponsor, the University of Arkansas Fay Jones School of Architecture and Design. Ewan Fay Jones was born on January 10, 1921, at Pine Bluff. Attracted by the prosperity of the South Arkansas oil boom, his parents moved their family to El Dorado, where they operated a restaurant called the People's Cafe. Fay Jones grew up in the bustling Union County seat, which reached a population high of nearly 30,000 in 1925. As a child, Jones liked to build things, including elaborate tree houses. He connected his hobby with a career in architecture after seeing a film about Frank Lloyd Wright's S.C. Johnson Wax headquarters building in Wisconsin. Jones graduated from El Dorado High School in 1938 and entered the engineering program at the University of Arkansas because there were only 2 or 3 architecture courses offered at that time. Jones enlisted in the Navy in 1941 and served in the South Pacific Theater during World War II. Jones met Mary Elizabeth Gus Knox just before joining the Navy, and the couple married in San Francisco in 1943. After his discharge from the Navy, Jones entered the new architecture program at the University of Arkansas with the help of the GI Bill. In 1950, he became one of the program's first 5 graduates. Jones earned his Master's of Architecture degree in 1951 from Rice University and soon accepted a teaching position at the University of Oklahoma, where he worked with noted architect Bruce Goff. Jones first met his mentor Frank Lloyd Wright in 1949 at the American Institute of Architects annual meeting in Houston, where Wright was being honored with the AIA's most prestigious award, the Gold Medal. They met again while Jones was at the University of Oklahoma, and Wright invited him to visit Taliesin West for Easter in 1953. Jones and his wife Gus later joined the Taliesin Fellowship, making annual trips to study under Wright. Jones's work was influenced by Wright and Goff, but he created his own unique style using the principles of organic architecture. In 1953, Jones took Wright's advice and moved back to Arkansas, where he began teaching in the architecture program at the University of Arkansas and owned a small practice in Fayetteville. By the late 1950s, Dr. Paul Henley had established a successful medical practice in El Dorado. In 1959, Dr. Henley commissioned architect Fay Jones to design a new house for his family, as well as a home for his brother-in-law, educator James Neal Riley, on the same 3-acre property. Henley and Riley chose Fay Jones to be their architect because of his ability to blend buildings with their natural surroundings and integrate indoor and outdoor spaces. They also appreciated the custom-built furniture and artistic elements of his designs. Located in the Union County seat of El Dorado, the Henley and Riley houses were built on the Old Callion Highway, east of the El Dorado Golf and Country Club. The houses were listed in the National Register of Historic Places in 2017 as the Henley Riley Historic District because they are right next to one another. The larger of the two homes was built for Dr. Paul and Francine Henley and their two daughters. The second home, located to the east of the Henley House, was built for James Riley, the younger brother of Francine Henley. Dr. Paul G. Henley was born in Prescott, Arkansas in 1916. He attended Southern State College and Henderson State College. Before entering the field of medicine, he served as a principal of high schools in Hempstead and Nevada counties. He was an honor graduate of the University of Arkansas Medical School and attended the University of Michigan Graduate School of Medicine and Surgery and the University of Pennsylvania Graduate School of Medicine and Surgery. During World War II, he served as a medical officer in the U.S. Army. Paul Henley married Francine Riley of Stevens, Arkansas, on January 25, 1938. The couple had two daughters, Camille and Francie. After moving from Pennsylvania to El Dorado, Dr. Henley was a general practitioner and surgeon at El Dorado's Warner Brown Hospital. According to one of Dr. Henley's former nurses, he was well respected by the Sisters of Mercy, the Catholic order of nuns who operated the hospital, as well as the community at large. He was described as a progressive person who loved art. Dr. Henley served as the president of the South Arkansas Symphony and the Union County Medical Society and was a member of the Board of Stewards of First Methodist Church. He was first elected to El Dorado School Board in 1964 and eventually became school board president. Located on a wooded lot and set back from Callion Road, the Henley House is U-shaped with a low-pitched roof and widely overhanging eaves. The home features a central courtyard visible from the interior of the house through large glass panels. The west wing of the house was anchored by a large central chimney. The western elevation of the home, which faces Callion Road, was designed to blend into the gently sloping landscape and provide privacy. The exterior walls are composed of brown brick and wooden panels with battens. A narrow band of windows situated under a widely overhanging eave provided natural light from the west. A small gabled roof attached to the back of the central chimney was used to allow additional natural light into the home's living spaces. The four-bedroom house included a study, music room, and a car shelter with parking spaces for 3 vehicles and a boat, as well as a maid's room with full bath accessible from the motor court. The Henley House is accessed from its southern elevation, which also includes the car shelter and former maid's quarters. A lantern designed by Fay Jones provided illumination as you approach the front door, which is situated under the end of a low-pitched gabled roof supported by a wide brick column. The back wall of the car shelter is screened from the courtyard by vertical wood battens. As you round the southeast corner of the house, the inside of the U-shaped courtyard becomes visible. A low retaining wall delineates the back of the courtyard space. The primary bedroom and bathroom are situated at the rear of the north wing and built into the sloping site. The eastern portion of the north elevation is clad in wooden panels with a narrow band of windows. But as you move toward the west, large glass panels are used as exterior walls for the dining room and kitchen. Another patio is situated under the overhanging gable end and screened from the north and west by vertical wood battens. At Dr. Henley's request, Fay Jones designed a 2-story playhouse for Camille and Francie Henley at the rear of the property. As you approach the front door, a wooden chandelier designed by Fay Jones hangs from the beam under the south gable end seating area. The underside of the eaves and the ceiling of the house are covered with white homosode panels, creating continuity between the exterior and the interior. Homosode is a spongy material used to absorb sound. The interior features custom-designed cove lighting and skylights. As you move toward the public, entertaining spaces of the house, the courtyard becomes visible through a series of glass panels and sliding glass doors separated by brick columns. Built-in storage is abundant throughout the house. The sunken living room and adjacent music room are located on the opposite side of this hallway and are filled with natural light. Built-in benches span the west wall of the living room on either side of the fireplace. The glass wall at the north end of the hallway creates the illusion that the space is open to the exterior. The kitchen is about 2 steps below the main level and contains original cabinetry and light fixtures designed by Fay Jones. The north end of the kitchen is glass and opens onto another gable end seating area. On the original house plans, this was noted as a service entrance. Moving into the north wing of the house, the dining room walls are glass on both sides, with sliding glass doors providing access to the north patio and the interior courtyard. The courtyard features a reflecting pool and a fountain with a metal sculpture designed by Jones. The bedrooms in the north wing open into the courtyard. The south wing car shelter is separated from the courtyard by a decorative screen of vertical wood battens. From the dining room, a narrow hallway with custom wall sconces provides access to the home's private bedroom spaces. Bedrooms feature wood paneling, cove lighting, and built-in wardrobes. The powder room features 2 mirrored vanity areas, one for each of the Henley daughters. As you continue down the hallway, built-in storage with a narrow band of windows lines the north side. The bedrooms that originally belonged to the Henley daughters mirrored each other and could be connected by opening a large pocket door. The study featured built-in bookshelves and desk space with a window to the courtyard. The long hallway terminates at the primary bedroom, dressing area, and bathroom. A 2016 addition enlarged the dressing area and bathroom, but painstaking efforts were taken to match the original house, making this enhancement almost undetectable. Dr. Paul Henley died in 1979, and his widow Francine continued living here until 1988. The home is currently owned by Mark and Carrie Brown.
Last year, Murphy USA embarked on a meaningful new partnership with Boys and Girls Clubs of America. At the time, we didn't realize how the world was about to change and how powerful our support was truly going to be. On behalf of the nearly 15,000 employees of Murphy USA, I want to thank you for supporting Murphy USA and Boys and Girls Clubs of America as we collectively work together, helping to ensure that all kids thrive in school, in the workforce, and in life. For many families, especially those with frontline and essential workers, finding a safe place for their kids during the day was a challenge. Thankfully, Boys and Girls Clubs of America was there, and thanks to Murphy USA customers, so are we. Through your generosity, we have been able to raise $3 million for Boys and Girls Clubs. That money is immediately put to work to meet the needs of kids and families in our communities. As our world gets back on track, your support is needed now more than ever. At Murphy USA, we are passionate about making a difference in the communities we serve. That's why we support Boys and Girls Clubs of America in doing whatever it takes for America's youth.
Thank you, Murphy USA. Thank you, Murphy USA.
James Neal Riley was born on April 6, 1923, at Stevens, Arkansas. He served in the U.S. Navy during World War II. After the war, Riley attended Hendrix College and initially planned to go to medical school. Instead, he got a job teaching at El Dorado Junior High before graduating with his biology degree in 1957. Because Riley was unmarried, his mother, Della, then a widow, moved with him to El Dorado. Riley later received a master's degree from the University of Arkansas and became the biology and physiology teacher at El Dorado High School, as well as the science coordinator for El Dorado Public Schools. Riley was a charter member and president of the Little Theater of El Dorado High School Executive Board, and served as a stage manager, producer, and actor for the group. He was later a board member of the South Arkansas Fine Arts Center. Mr. Riley was instrumental in the establishment of the South Arkansas Arboretum at El Dorado. In 1967, he secured federal education grants of $200,000 a year for 3 years to fund land acquisition and development of the Arboretum, which preserved the native flora and fauna of the West Gulf Coastal Plain and served as a learning laboratory for El Dorado students. The Arboretum is now part of the Arkansas State Park System, managed by South Arkansas Community College. It is located west of downtown El Dorado, next to the old El Dorado High School on Timberlane Road. By the late 1960s, Riley was an assistant superintendent and director of the South Arkansas Curriculum Laboratory, which included the Arboretum and the Educational Media Laboratory. The Riley House was designed for James Riley and his mother, helping to explain its close proximity to the Henley House. Francine Henley was James Riley's older sister, so this provided a way for the families to interact and care for each other. The Riley House is located east of the Henley House. The driveway from Callion Road originally continued past the Henley House to access the Riley House, but the properties are now divided with access to the Riley House from the south. The Riley House is shaped like a T and faces south. Like the Henley House, the Riley House is clad in brown brick and wooden panels with battens. The west wing of the house contains a car shelter and guest bedroom. A narrow band of windows under the eave provides natural light for the bedroom while maintaining privacy. The low-pitched roof has widely overhanging eaves, and a large chimney dominates the south-facing gable end. The southeast corner of the living room consists of glass panels and a set of double glass doors that provide access to the terrace. The east side of the house was altered in 2000. with the construction of an addition designed to complement the original design. The north gable end now provides access to a small private patio. A mechanical room is situated inside a square brick structure located at the rear juncture of the two original house wings. The guest room features two sets of glass doors that open into the north yard. A pavilion with outdoor kitchen, constructed about 2010, was designed to reflect elements of the home's design. The front door is flanked by narrow glass panels that line up with a glass wall on the north side of the house, providing a view straight through the entry into the backyard. Once inside, the entry is lit by skylights situated above a pool with plantings. Like the Henley House, the underside of the eaves and the ceilings are covered with Homos oak panels, providing visual continuity between the interior and exterior. The guest room is located west of the entry and features custom lighting, built-in storage, and an ensuite bathroom. Additional built-in storage is located throughout the house. The living room is a few steps above the entryway and features one corner of glass. The large brick chimney divides the space between the walls of glass and walls of wood paneling with built-in benches. The dining area is located a few steps above the living room and is situated between the living room and kitchen. A rectangular opening, now missing its adjustable screen, allowed Mr. Riley to enjoy the natural light from the living room as well as the fireplace from his bedroom. The wall that originally separated Mr. Riley's bedroom from the kitchen has been removed, and the original kitchen finishes have been updated. A decorative wood screen disguises an air intake to the mechanical room. A short hallway provided access to the second bedroom, originally used by James Riley's mother, Della Riley. This room features cove lighting that dramatically highlights the ceiling, as well as built-in storage and a narrow glass panel providing a view into the primary bedroom. James and Della Riley's bedrooms both originally had double glass doors that opened onto an eastern terrace. powder room was located opposite Mrs. Riley's bedroom. Access to a private patio on the north side of the house has been added. The interior of the 2000 edition also features elements of the original design, like the narrow hallway with built-in storage topped by a narrow band of windows, wood-paneled walls, and corners of paneled glass. The Riley House remained connected to the Riley and Henley families until the early 1980s. It is currently owned by the Imdad Jotoy family, who intend to restore the house as closely as possible to its original appearance.